After all of the hype in the world, I finally got around to watching Solo Leveling, and guys, I get it. I get it. It's a very, very, very good show. I just finished watching Season 1, and that's what we're going to be breaking down today. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. So, I'll give my general thoughts, and then we're going to break it down kind of like episode by episode, arc by arc. So, I really like, first of all, what I like about this is that we're actually following somebody who is at... I don't know if technically is, but the character actually seems like an adult. This is something that I love anime shows so much. I think they tell some of the best stories that I've ever seen. But it's one of the reasons why I loved something like Hell's Paradise so much is because I'm not following this kid in high school and I'm not seeing any ridiculous fan service with somebody who is potentially also in high school. I don't like seeing that type of thing. I love the fact that we have a fun, mature character, and he started off like a weakling, don't get me wrong, and I have that little bit of a gripe with anime too, but he turned into a great character. I love that he's just like a confident, seemingly adult character who's gaining all of these powers. I think it's cool, okay? So it already right now is a step above the problems that I have against anime shows. I like the fact, and it's tough because I get why people wouldn't like the type of thing where it's like, okay, you have this guy, he's constantly leveling up, he's constantly getting better, and he's just beating everybody no matter what. I think that they told the story in a very interesting way. I like what he ended up going through. I like how weak he was. I like that he turned into like this grand character, and the only other issue that I have with it is it's so clearly Levi from Attack on Titan. I got over it because it's a little bit, the actor plays this character and he's not playing Captain Levi, obviously, so I can kind of get over it, but I still hear Levi in the voice a little bit. But regardless, let's break it down. I really like this show, and this had one of the best pilots I have ever seen. I'm very weird. I hate getting into new shows. I hate watching new shows because I have to get invested into a show. I have to wait and probably get over a couple boring episodes. Attack on Titan, phenomenal. I think Solo Leveling just might have the best pilot episode I have ever seen in a show, period. The show starts off right away at this second dungeon where it's like the worst dungeon of all time. Of course, it's a show where all of these hunters are going in and they're, they're beating bosses of the dungeon. It's one of those dungeon shows, right? But they do it so well. I don't know how to describe this because they went through all these tasks where you had to take a look at the statues. You had to treat them like God. There were these commands. They had to decipher it, and it was a life or death. The statues were slaughtering people. I don't know exactly how they did it, but the way that they captured the feeling of, like, fear in these characters and just how powerful and magnificent these, like, God statues are, they did it perfectly. I was invested in the show like that. One of the best pilots that I've ever seen, and it continued on into episode 2. But anyways, we have our main character. We have Jin Woo, who, very long story short, everybody was getting slaughtered. He ended up saving a bunch of people by deciphering the messages. They had to praise the gods. Then everybody ended up escaping, and he stayed back and sacrificed himself. Of course, he's the main character. We know that he's not going to die, but he was getting chopped by a giant sword or something. But even then, like, he was getting beat up and beat up and beat up. Like, I think his leg got cut off. And this is where it's a little bit confusing, okay? Because he dies and then the player screen ends up coming up. I had a little bit of an issue with it once I first started watching the show because I thought it was a little bit strange. Like, okay, what is he? Is this a guy playing a video game? I don't think that's the case because he keeps talking about the system throughout the entire show. And I'm kind of leaning towards, like, something, for some reason, wants Jin Woo to stay alive. I just don't know what that could possibly be. I don't know if it had to do with the statues and the gods, but something wants him to get stronger. Maybe he has a mission to protect something or somebody one day. This is really risky for the show to do. So no matter how it ends up concluding, it better have a good payoff, okay? Because there is a big, like, whole part of this show where he's solo leveling. He's come back, he's healing, and he is leveling up like every dungeon hunter. Hunter, that's what it is. Sorry about that. Every hunter has their own level. Every hunter had their awakening, that's their strength, but Jin Woo can now exceed the level, and he can continuously get stronger and stronger and stronger. So that screen came up where it's like, your heart's about to stop. Do you want to accept this new mission as a new player? And he said yes, of course. After that first mission, though, the show kind of goes into Jin Woo kind of learning about this new player system, and it's literally being treated like a video game, which, again, I find strange. But I'm kind of with Jin Woo in, like, something or someone wants him alive for some purpose, and what could that be? Because I don't think that anybody else has access to this type of thing, so He's learning, he has to work out, he's getting huge all of a sudden, he's going through that like typical anime training transformation type thing, and I thought they did it a very good way, to be honest with you. I wasn't annoyed at all with any of it. I particularly liked when he ended up having the penalty because he is required to get stronger now. He gets plopped into a desert with all of these monsters, and I gotta say, I liked all of the monsters in the dungeon as well. I thought they were pretty unique. I thought they were fun. And sorry, I just was wondering what my dog was doing. Sunny baby, what are you doing, sweetheart? I think she's a little bit bored. What are you doing, baby? Hey? What are you doing? Daddy's recording right now. Who's a good girl? Hey, who's a good girl? Oh, did the camera stop tracking me? I thought you were able to see the dog. I'm such an idiot, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know. I'll watch it back, see if it's worth cutting out or not. I like to keep these as, like, you know, free-flowing as possible. So hopefully you're enjoying the video. Regardless. Oh, yeah. I particularly liked all of the dungeon monsters. I liked that he was basically forced to work out. The nurses were kind of even questioning where it's like, okay, we told him to take it easy, but he has to run. He has to do like 100 push-ups. I don't know how many kilometers he had to run, but things like that, right? He consistently had to get stronger. And then, after getting stronger, after completing all of his daily quests, he actually had access to his own gate. And you have to defeat the boss. The gate kind of closes. That's kind of how it works. And he just gets his own dungeons. So he fights his first monster and realizes how strong he is. This golem ends up escaping, and by the time he's done the dungeon, he's able to take care of things that the hunters aren't able to take care of. So he's clearly leveling up very quickly. And I forgot to mention at some point, too, he was tested for a reawakening because he survived the double dungeon. Everybody's traumatized. So many people died, and he turned out negative. So this leveling up that he's been experiencing is kept a secret. And the show has me very curious exactly what that's all about. But it doesn't exactly stop there, because the show has me invested even more in exactly what this player thing is doing. Because we have the entire, I guess, I don't know if you could call it arc or episode or a couple episodes where he had to group up with these people because you need so many people to actually enter a dungeon. These people just didn't want to share the profit, whatever they were end up mining. So we met, and sorry, the friend's name is escaping me right now. I have historically been difficult with anime names. It's incredible remembering Jinwoo. Regardless, he meets his friend there, and the friend can't fight, but Jinwoo is secretly getting powerful, so he defeats the boss, and then the quest screen for the people who betrayed him and ended up actually locking him in the dungeon, and were going to kill him anyways, the screen came up and said, hey, new quest, murder these people. And of course, it was a little bit difficult to actually kill people because Jinwoo was never actually, he never murdered anybody ever before. But what I did like is, it's weird because it's one of those things where it's like, okay, he has the main character, and the main character is so powerful, and he's having all these moments. But I like the way that he keeps drawing back to where he's like, how could I possibly fear you after what I experienced? And he keeps going back to those scary moments in the double dungeon. I like that's where he kind of gets his fearlessness from and his motivation from. And of course, he's being feared into not suffering a penalty with a new screen. He ended up killing people, no problem. He assassinated all of them, saved the day, exited the dungeon. Again, it just has me curious about who's controlling that screen. It's got to be something, right? And I don't know what it could possibly be. So I've been thinking about that the entire show. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to be spoiled. I don't want to hear about that, okay? I'm just interested, and I doubt we're going to hear about it in Season 2. I think it's going to be a more of like the end of the series type thing. But as we continue on, we have the first S-rank dungeon. And I don't remember at this point of the show what rank Jinwoo was, but of course he's just ranking up all of the time eventually. And by I don't know, maybe throughout Season 2 he's going to be an S-rank character. But I thought I don't even know what to call it, like the Devil's Castle, whatever it was, that entire thing was so cool. And this is what I love about the show, okay? They do such a good job at really bringing me as a viewer, excuse me if you could hear my notification, they do such a good job bringing me as the viewer into this moment, and I'm really kind of feeling the fear that Jinwoo's feeling. He goes into the Sunset Rank dungeon, we figured out that he's taking care of his family, his mom's sick, and he has something in the S-rank dungeon could cure his mother. I don't remember exactly what that is, but he's motivated through that. And he goes into the S-rank dungeon immediately, and immediately everything's on fire. It's like a devil castle, and he has to fight a Cerberus right away, and this thing is immensely powerful, nearly killing the guy. He ends up using his loot box, and again, it's just like a video game. Whatever he ended up doing, he just ended up actually defeating it after like a very, very difficult fight. But he stops himself because he goes, okay, I'm going to get killed if I continue on, and I need to get stronger, and this is something that's continuously motivating him. He is somebody obsessed with improving, obsessed with bettering himself. I think that's really cool. I think that's admirable as somebody who's consistently trying to better himself. I like to watch a main character do that type of thing too, but I like the fact that we have something that we're going to be building up to as well. And that's going to be an insane fight. He already wanted to go back again at some point in season 1, but he didn't do it. So cool. It's so cool. That whole battle was cool. The demon castle was cool. And I don't know if that's going to be like the final boss or anything like that. But I cannot wait to find out, man. But now we have a couple more episodes where Jinwoo ends up taking the deal where he has to go through all these dungeons. And it's just going to be him and that guy. I don't know if they started at this point, but they also had the other episode where the one guy was going to just want to kill Jinwoo in there, but Jinwoo ends up slaying him. He's been improving, and it's very clear throughout all these episodes just how powerful he's being, and he's able to conceal his rank because he's still testing as, I guess, as a rank E. But that was cool that he's ultra motivated now. Nobody's going to get in his way. People are keeping his secret. People are starting to notice too because he's taking over the dungeons as well. Things are starting to build up. Plus, we have that guy that wanted, the guy that wanted to murder him and leave him with the spider. His brother or father or relative, whatever it was, is now sworn revenge on Jinwoo too, so we have to be careful about that. And Jinwoo was warned about that because he has a big target on his back. This is going to get crazy real fast, I think. But now we have the final arc, and this is Jinwoo just receiving a job change request. So he has to cancel. They've been just getting all of the money in the world. He ended up conning that one dude too, but it's not really worth talking about, my opinion. He ends up like delaying all of the dungeons for the day and being smart about it and going to accept this job change request where he just had to go in and he had to defeat, I don't remember if the job change specifically was to defeat a knight, but he's immediately teleported to a castle and where he has to take on, and I don't know if they're worse than the Cerberus, they probably weren't, but still there was a lot of people, and all of the people that he ended up defeating, these people are all stronger versions of him. So he had to take care of some knights, and just one of them was horrible, but he had the mages that continuously summoned them all, and he also recognized a weakness that he had that he needed to, was it intellect? Or perception? Something, whatever it was, he wasn't too invested in becoming a mage, so he had a weakness to this type of thing. And he was nearly killed, but because he didn't complete the quests, and I know this is just like an anime thing of like, oh my god, he saved the day, and then all of a sudden he's ultra motivated. They did it so well in the presentation that I didn't care about it. And I was like, hell yeah, all right. He has to go and he has to heal himself and he has to survive and spawn back in. So he barely got enough tools and healed himself enough throughout being saved because earlier he was like, I'll complete those later. Let's just see what this job change quest is about. Got saved, comes back, defeats the mages, and has to fight this knight. Not a clue who this knight is, but I guess, what is it, Igris? Yeah, Igris, and it was like Igris, the ultimate shadow monarch or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but he had a really cool name, actually. So he has to fight this knight, and the knight has nearly killed him. Then he kind of has that anime moment where it's like, he's about to get finished off, I'm not done yet, and just ultimately, like, overcomes him. It's so weird to come out of my mouth because it's how it sounds. Like, it's like, oh yeah, so he was beat to death, and then he came back and won. But it was cool the way that he did it, okay? So that entire battle, that entire couple episodes was awesome, and I love the way the battles drag on too. This dude Jinwoo has been taking an absolute beating. So he ends up actually defeating everybody. Everybody's down, and he got to see exactly maybe what a necromancer is, and he was offered, because he completed the job change, he's offered to be a necromancer, which is apparently a hidden class. And I don't know if hidden class means that nobody is part of a necromancer, or maybe it's like a secret, only a select few people are necromancers, or if he's going to be like the first necromancer. Because now he has his own army. Now he can summon the people that he defeated in battle, and especially this knight Igris. And dude, the voice actor for Levi, man, and Jinwoo, so good. I like the fact that the spirit has to kind of, depending on their power level, submit to you. He's like, you're guarding this throne, then your king will never return. So use that for me. And obviously I'm not doing it as cool, but like very, very, I loved the way that everything in this show was presented. So now he has Igris, and he has a bunch of random knights. So I could only imagine with the people that he defeats that are going to submit to him, Jinwoo is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'm entirely invested in the show. I'm particularly most interested in whatever he's training for and why something wants to keep him alive. I can't wait to see what his power level gets like. I can't wait to see how people figure out that he's a necromancer now. All of this is totally fascinating to me, and I get the hype behind this show, and I think that the first season of Solo Leveling was excellent. Loved this show, and I cannot wait to watch the second season. But for now, because we do not have an episode on the second season right now, why don't you check out my Attack on Titan Season 1 review right here. I'd love to have you guys over there. Thank you very much for watching the video. Take care, guys.